need more?
There's your 20, and I'll up it.
Patrick.
Where you been since breakfast, Billy?
Listen, Patrick, I changed my mind about my winnings yesterday. I believe I'll take it back now.
I'm in. 2 cards.
You told me not to give you that money till we got back to Lincoln.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you got a week left on your vacation before we head back to Lincoln, so I was... Well, could you give it to me now? I'm kind of...
I'll play these. 50.
Seeing as how I'm filled out, I'll just meet that. And I'll kick it another 50.
Listen, Patrick, I know I told you to save it for me and all, but you can't hold me to that now.
I can't give it to you, Billy. The nice thing about a hand like I'm holding, you don't have to worry about filling it in. Here's your 50, and I'll up it 100.
What do you mean you can't? You still got the money.
It's all right in there.
Yeah. There, in the pot, that's my money there. Well, that's misappropriation, Patrick. That's what it is.
I think you're bluffing.
Cost you 100 to find out.
I know what I'm beat.
It's tough luck.
It ain't going to be easy facing my wife.
There's your money, Billy. There it is. Plus 10 for interest.
Oh, yeah, that's all right. Listen, I'm sorry I fussed at you, Patrick. I guess I'd done the same thing if I had held the card you must have.
I hope not. I'd have to lock you up for misappropriation of funds.
Huh? What do you mean? A pair of threes.
Yeah, come on in, Billy.
Mr. Garrett?
Yeah?
The clerk downstairs told me this was your room.
Yeah, that's right, but I don't know you, do I?
No, I never should have come here. I'm sorry.
Oh, just a minute. Are you in some sort of trouble? You might as well tell me why you came
No,
here.
I apologize for disturbing you. I was wrong to even think.
Think what?
I came here to ask you for money. I thought I'd lost all sense of pride or shame, but I haven't. No, please let me go.
Why me?
I didn't know where else to turn. That money my husband lost to you at poker.
Oh.
That was all we had. We had borrowed it to pay the feed loan at the bank.
And your husband used that money gambling?
I don't know what came over him. Oh, he's never done anything like this before. Never. It's just... Oh, things haven't been very easy for us lately, and I guess he thought it might solve our problems if he won. I'm so afraid.
Ma'am, you just sit right down. Here. Take it easy.
When he came home, he was so desperate. I just don't know what he might do. I just don't know what to do.
Don't you worry. We'll try to figure out something.
No, I had no right to come here. Jim would never forgive me if he knew. He's never begged for anything his whole life. He's a good man, Mr. Garrett. It's just this gambling.
Ma'am, would it help any if I were to give that money back?
I'd be lying if I said it wouldn't. But it's so much.
All I'd ask is a small favor. You keep your husband away from those saloons and away from those gambling tables. Here we go. It's, go on. It's just a loan. You can pay it back someday. Oh, come on now.
I'll work. I'll do anything. And I will pay it back, every single cent.
You just spend your time keeping your husband at home.
I will. Oh, I know Jim, Mr. Garrett. He'll never touch another deck of cards after this, I know. Well, I just don't know what to say. I mean, thank you.
That's good enough.
That's the way it goes, boys. What do you say, Patrick? You left a warm seat here. You take this one now.
What are you doing back here?
I rounded up some more money, so I figured I'd try my luck again.
A scum like you ought to be horsewhipped.
Hey, take it easy, Patrick. He ain't done nothing.
I'll tell you what he's done. He's gambled away money his wife worked her hands raw for. Money that was meant to get that dirt farm going. But you couldn't wait to get back here, could you? What did you do? Take the money I gave back to your wife?
My wife?
Yeah.
Mister, you got somebody else in mind. You ask anybody here. I ain't got no dirt farm. And my wife's off in Santa Fe visiting her folks.
Now, look, she just told me that... I'm sorry, mister.
You mean you gave your poker winnings to some strange woman, Patrick?
Well, she needed the money for a feed loan and... Yeah.
Well, in a case like this, Patrick, I think what you ought to do is to see a good lawman. Now, I understand they got a good one here in El Paso. Is that where you're going?
I'll take care of this myself. I'll get that money back.
Figure you sit around here all day, Patrick?
Yeah, if it takes that long.
What makes you so sure she's going to leave town?
Well, nobody in El Paso seems to know her. I've checked all the hotels. I've posted the 2 livery stables, so there's only 2 ways she can get out of town.
Yeah?
Train or the stage. Train isn't due till tomorrow, so if she leaves today, she'll have to show up right here.
Stage west due any minute now. Want me to hang around here, Patrick, in case she decides to shoot away clear? You need help? I guess I should have warned you before we came to El Paso, Patrick, about these big city gals. They'll take us country boys every time. How much was it you say she got off?
Never mind.
You know a man with your reputation, Patrick? There ain't a man in the Southwest won't get a boot out of hearing about this.
Billy, do me a favor, huh?
Yeah, what?
Just so she doesn't get by me. Check the train station, in case there's been any change in schedules.
Oh, Patrick, now I got the feeling you're trying to get rid of me, boy. But I always say, anything for a friend, you know. Even if he ain't too bright. I'll see you later.
Yeah, he looks like that sort. Well, now, don't you worry no more, ma'am. You'll find out we don't put up with this kind here in El Paso.
Oh, I'm ever so grateful. I just didn't know who to turn to. Then I saw you nice gentlemen here. You see, I have to board that coach in order to reach my auntie's, and... Well, I was just afraid to go near him.
Well, you just leave him to us. All right, mister, get a move on. We don't tolerate your type
Wait,
out here.
wait, what are you talking about?
You know dang well what I mean.
Now, just a minute. I'm looking for a woman, and I
You
expect...
got nerve owning up to it. You're heading for the marshal's office, mister. We got respect for women in this town.
Hold on now. I don't know what that woman told you, but she's a professional liar and a thief.
You just watch how you talk, mister. I may have a half a notion to take you apart right here.
Well, just understand this. I'm Sheriff Pat Garrett of Lincoln County.
Sure, and I'm Buffalo Bill. Mister, we're done talking.
I've got the badge right
Got
here.
it, man. Keep away from that gun.
Oh, I was just looking for help. See that poor man? Why, those big bullies have been treating him something awful.
Just let me stick around till that stagecoach pulls out. It won't be but a minute or two more. Billy, don't start anything. There's no reason to fight. That ain't the dangest story I ever heard. Pat Garrett falling for an old dodge like that. No hard feelings, Pat. We're old friends. Didn't I just release you from those charges on assault and disturbing the peace? Thanks.
Well, I reckon we better head on back to Lincoln there, Patrick.
No, I'm going after her.
With just a little money?
$600 is a lot of money, and you know it.
Let's go.
I think I'll handle this alone, Billy.
Not on your life, Patrick. Any gal that can swindle Pat Garrett out of $600 ain't gonna meet. Patrick, with your luck, she probably headed on to Durango.
No, I don't think so. Now, you take that side of the street, I'll take this side. Check every hotel, store, and saloon. Now, I'm looking for a woman. She would have checked in yesterday.
You can imagine how I felt being stranded here without funds. I just didn't know where to turn. But I promise you my father will dispatch the money to you the moment I reach my home in San Francisco. Thank you again so much.
You have $600 that belongs to me.
I'm terribly sorry. I'm afraid you've made some mistake.
Miss, the game is over.
All right, mister, you found me. Now what are you going to do about it?
Just give me the money.
I can't. I spent it on clothes. You like them?
Now, do I have to arrest you?
Sheriff. Where?
Lincoln County, New Mexico?
Then you can't arrest me. You're out of your county.
I'll take you to the local marshal.
And what are you going to tell him? Do you have any proof that I took that money? Any witnesses? If you will remember, Sheriff, it was you that insisted on giving me that money. I didn't want to accept it. But if you want to tell your story to the marshal, you just go right ahead. I would like to give you a little advice. If I were you, I would just mark losing that money up to experience, because I'm liable to get you in an awful lot of trouble if you don't leave me alone.
You didn't find her?
I found her.
You mean the bluff didn't work?
Yeah. This is going to be a hard one to land, Billy. We'll have to play it her way. But I've got an idea. First, we're going to do a little shopping. Then we go see the local marshal. That don't beat all. To think that... Marshal, please don't think too harsh of her.
Well, I'm just sort of serving as marshal, kind of temporary like, since Jud Marlowe quit. But I can sure handle this one. Now, don't you worry no more. I'll bring her back here myself.
He sure swallowed that whole.
But, Marshal, if you would just explain what it is you want with me, I'm sure there's some misunderstanding.
Now, you just do your explaining to him.
Those two, they are outlaws, Marshal, and that one. He killed a sheriff in Lincoln County, New Mexico, and stole his badge. They're after me because I was the only witness. Oh, he's not really Pat Garrett, don't you let him tell you that.
Betsy, calm down. The marshal brought you here just so we could have a talk.
He's not really a sheriff. No, he's not Pat Garrett.
Now, you just be quiet. Nobody said he was.
Well, what do you want with me, then?
Honey, it's just that me and the kids miss you so much. We're willing to forgive everything and take you back.
What?
When you run off, I was nearer to despair and where to find you. I had to leave the kids with Aunt Alma. Your brother Herbie and me, we've been looking for you through near 100 towns now. But we finally found you.
Brother?
Any woman that would run off and leave 6 kids, her very own. I'm a family man myself, mister. I know just how you feel.
Well, now, just a minute. I'm not married to him. I'm not even married, and I certainly don't have 6 children, and he is not my brother.
We had the same problem with Aunt Mattie. Kind of runs in the family. It's a sickness like.
They're lying. They're both lying, Marshal.
Betsy, maybe these will help you to remember. They're little Freddie's booties. He keeps crying for you, Betsy. He's just 4 months old.
Make him show you our marriage license.
Oh, you know we lost that when the house burned down last year?
Terrible fire. We almost lost Aunt Fanny in that one.
No, all I have to show our marriage is your wedding ring. And it broke my heart when you threw it at me that night you left.
That's proof enough for me.
All right, suppose I am his wife. What does that prove?
Nothing. Nothing much. But I'd sure hate to think of you running off again. So I reckon Marshal Peterson wouldn't mind telling everybody in town that they shouldn't sell you a stage ticket or rent a horse to you.
All right, mister. You just remember this. A husband cannot testify against his wife in court, just in case you had any ideas.
Court? Why, Betsy, what makes you say a thing like that?
Aunt Fanny was always wanting to go to court. Like to sue people. Kind of runs in the family.
Oh, shut up.
Betsy, that's no way to talk to your kinfolks.
Marshal, if you don't have any charge to hold me here, I'm going back to my room.
Well, I don't have one that fits you, but there ought to be.
I am going to stay in this town just as long as my dear, stupid husband does. We'll see who gives in first. You could knock.
Why, Betsy, darling, I'm your husband, remember?
Betsy, me, you... What are you doing here, anyway? What are you doing with my suitcase? Hey, you stop that. Now, you leave those things alone. Do you hear me? Stop it.
You'll disturb the other guests, dear.
Now, listen. Those are my things. I'll scream. I'm warning you, I'll scream.
You go right ahead.
Ah!
You strain your voice doing that.
Here, get this man out of here.
I seen her a-beating at you. You want to press charges?
Sister of mine's a regular she-bear.
But he is stealing my clothes. Can't you see
No,
that?
Betsy, not stealing. Since you squandered all my money on this finery, and since it's all brand new, I figured I could auction it off to the town people and get some of that money back.
Now, listen, those are my clothes. You can't do that.
Now, I don't pretend to know anything about the law, but it seems to me that I've heard a husband holds title to his wife's possession.
That's true. In every state and territory of the Union, except Wyoming.
I hear they've been fool enough to give women the vote up there.
Then these clothes do belong to me.
As her husband, I reckon you got every legal right to do whatever you want with them.
He is not my husband.
Now, you already admitted he was. You keep switching your story, and I'm going to lock you up for perjury.
Now, Marshal, Herbie, if you'll excuse us.
Oh, no, please, don't leave me alone with him.
Billy, would you be good enough to go out and buy a little cotton dress that would be fit for Betsy to wear?
Why? Why are you doing that?
Well, you see, I own that dress, too. It ought to bring a pretty penny.
No, please, stay.
Now,
Marshal.
honey, you've got to remember your modesty. They can't stay while you change.
You ought to know better, sis.
That money wasn't in your other clothes, so it's got to be on you.
No, well, I told you I spent it.
Now, either you hand it over or I'll take it off you.
No, but I haven't got it.
All right.
No, you can't search me. You can't search
Why,
me.
Betsy, I'm your husband.
All right. You win. I'll give you the money. Only you leave me alone. It's all there.
Mm-hmm. You might just as well hand over the money you took from that gentleman in the lobby.
Now, will you please get out of here?
Oh, no, not yet. You see, you're much too young and too lovely to go to jail. Besides which, I haven't got anything on you. Just to make sure that you keep out of trouble, I want you to sign a full confession.
What do you think? I'm crazy or something?
I'll keep it in my safe. Nobody'll ever see it. Unless you start playing games again.
I am not signing anything, not one thing.
All right. Then we'll just stay on here as husband and wife until you change your mind.
Have you got a paper and a pen?
In the lobby.
Something, Patrick? That marshal's never going to figure this thing out.
Well, no use trying to explain it to him. He'd just be more confused.
You never could understand why you let her get on that stage and leave town.
I just hope it taught that girl a lesson.
Boy, she was a changed woman, you know that? I never seen anyone look so down and out.
Yeah. Well, I gave her enough money to get a good start in another town.
You gave her money.
Mm-hmm.
She told me she was broke, Patrick. I mean, that's why I gave...
You? Oh, no.